As astronomers at the University of Texas at Austin McDonald Observatory, we get to tackle some of the most interesting and challenging problems about our universe.
Every day, we solve hard questions about the Big Bang, dark energy, black holes, and discover distant galaxies, planets, and stars. But one of the biggest problems in astronomy, and science research in general, is less about the science itself, but about the people.
Science, and astronomy in particular, has an equal access problem. Despite decades of effort to level the playing field after a long history of discrimination, students of color are still woefully underrepresented in the population of science graduates entering the workforce. Underrepresented minorities in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, are members of racial and ethnic groups that are not represented at the level they should be. This includes Black Americans, Latinx Americans, and Native Americans.
Of all STEM areas, URMs are most poorly represented in physics and astronomy, with only 8% of bachelor's degrees given to students of color each year. Mind you, the proportion of the US population made up of these groups is just over 31%. Underrepresentation doesn't stop at the bachelor's level. It gets worse and worse at different career stage milestones, such that only 3.2% of all physics and astronomy faculty researchers are from these groups. Most of these faculty of color are actually at HBCUs and HSIs, historically Black colleges and universities, and Hispanic serving institutions.
This leaky pipeline isn't something that will gradually improve over time. In fact, graduate rates of URMs in physics programs has remained largely flat over the past 15 years, and we've actually seen a steady decrease in physics degrees awarded to Black Americans. Why is this? People of color and women face a unique set of challenges when entering physics and astronomy research that their colleagues from other backgrounds don't face. Racism, sexism, stereotypes, fewer role models, fewer financial resources, microaggressions, and even more.
To do our part in solving this problem, we've created the Texas Astronomy Undergraduate Research Experience for Underrepresented Students, also known as TAURUS. The TAURUS program is a 9-week summer research experience for highly motivated students from underserved and traditionally marginalized groups. During their time in the program, the students are paired up with professional astronomers at UT Austin to work on a research project, awarding them valuable research experience for their future career aspirations, and also giving them a home in the astronomical community that lasts well beyond the summer experience. UT Austin hosted its first cohort of 5 TAURUS Scholars over the summer of 2016. We were thrilled to get this program off of the ground, serving this important population of highly motivated students from minoritized backgrounds. But without a steady source of funds over the next few years, it'll be hard to keep this program running.
So putting on a program like TAURUS requires funds to pay for scholar travel to and from Austin, housing on campus in residential halls, a trip out to McDonald Observatory, and computing resources for the scholars. Mentors pay student stipends directly from research grants, but all of the other costs add up quickly.
The TAURUS trip to McDonald Observatory is a real highlight. Many of our students have never been to a professional observatory or telescope before, and this is their first time that they can really connect and use a professional telescope with their own work for the first time. McDonald Observatory, besides being a cutting-edge research facility, is also home to one of the darkest night sky spots in the country. It's amazing for the TAURUS students to see, and it's also stunning and impressive to our research mentors. It really brings the wonders of the universe closer to home. The students get to experience that for the first time and connect it to their own work and their own passion.
After completing their research and presenting it to all of the astronomy department and McDonald Observatory, we keep close connections between the TAURUS Scholars and their research mentors. We're very much looking forward to bringing them back to Texas in January for the annual American Astronomical Society meeting, where the TAURUS students will be able to present their research, network with future graduate schools, and meet prospective future employers.
Bringing them to this meeting is important to establish a strong sense of belonging in the astronomy community. This is a critical step on the pathway to becoming a professional astronomer.
The value of a summer research experience for undergraduates cannot be understated. Even when I look back on my own experience, when I first started to feel like an astronomer, a real researcher, I think back to my own undergraduate career and my first encounters with data. These students are getting practice in real data collection, real questions that have never been answered before that they get to pose for the first time. Astronomy graduate programs throughout the country seek out these students with these hands-on data experiences. And so the closer that we can bring these students to an astronomical community like the one we have here at UT, the better. Specifically for our TAURUS Scholars, exposure to UT-based astronomers who themselves come from traditionally marginalized backgrounds is important to show them that indeed they can thrive, they can succeed, and most importantly, they belong.
Visiting major facilities like the McDonald Observatory definitely gave me a glimpse into what it's going to be like being a research astronomer in the future. And meeting other people like the UT undergrads, as well as my advisor and the other advisors in the TAURUS program, definitely made me feel a lot more included in the astronomy community. I definitely feel a lot more like an astronomer now than I did before being accepted into the TAURUS program.
Coming from an undergraduate institution that only had a physics department, summer research programs in astronomy were incredibly important for me. I knew I was interested in pursuing a career in astronomy, but I had no idea what the life of a professional astronomer was actually like or how research was conducted. Having actual research experience with well-known and respected astronomers allowed me to hone in on my research interests, strengthen my graduate school applications, and create a network of mentors who still support me.
Being part of a traditionally marginalized group in STEM can feel somewhat isolating, and through the TAURUS program I was able to meet a lot of people who I can relate to and who I have long-lasting connections with now. And I think that's a very important aspect in retaining underrepresented students in STEM, because it makes them feel more like they're part of the community.